Have you ever wondered why our ancestors had perfect posture while we struggle with constant back pain? The difference lies not in our biology, but in the world we have built for our bodies. Our modern lives are dominated by chairs, screens, and habits that force our spines into unnatural positions. 30,000 years ago, humans lived in constant motion, hunting and gathering across vast, open landscapes. They rested on hard ground and carried everything they owned on their own spines, building strength.
When scientists analyze these ancient remains, they find something truly remarkable: straight, healthy spines.
These bones show almost none of the wear and tear we consider a normal part of growing old. Our ancestors had no ergonomic chairs or standing desks, yet they stood taller and straighter than we do.
To understand this mystery, we must first realize that posture is not just a static pose. Posture is a silent, constant negotiation between your skeleton, your muscles, and the force of gravity. Every second you are awake, deep trunk muscles are firing, adjusting, and holding you upright automatically.
A healthy posture allows the bones to stack neatly, passing the load through the spine into the legs.
In contrast, poor posture forces muscles to fight a losing war against gravity for hours on end.
That exhausting struggle is exactly what you feel at the end of a long day at your desk. The most obvious difference is movement. We have engineered movement out of our lives almost entirely.
Our ancestors didn't sit for 8 hours and then hit the gym for 45 minutes to undo it.
They moved constantly and in diverse ways, walking, digging, climbing, and carrying objects throughout the day. They squatted to rest, keeping their bodies engaged rather than slumping into soft, supportive chairs. Carrying loads on their heads and shoulders forced their spines to lengthen and stack correctly under pressure.
They crouched, reached, and knelt across hundreds of different angles every single day, keeping joints mobile.
This is the heart of the answer. The human body is not designed to be supported, but to support itself. Every chair and cushioned seat takes over a job that your own muscles were built to do. When a muscle is not asked to work, it weakens. Over time, those deep stabilizing muscles simply fade away.
Over years, the structure that should hold your skeleton in line goes slack, and the bones begin to drift.
We sink into sofas that curl our spines into a C shape, letting our heads fall forward for hours.
Across history, the resting posture of humans was a deep squat, with heels flat and spines upright.
This position keeps ankles mobile, hips open, and the spine long. It is a form of active rest. Many of us today cannot even hold a flat-footed squat for 30 seconds, showing how far we have drifted. New research suggests the ideal human spine may not be the double S-curve we are so often shown. Evidence points to a flatter, more elongated shape being healthier, with the pelvis tipped slightly forward.
In cultures where back pain is rare, people stack their vertebrae into a long, stable column naturally.
The modern pain epidemic may be the story of a spine bent out of the shape it was built for. It starts in childhood. A child raised without chairs spends years sitting on the floor, crawling and squatting. This endless practice builds the brain's map of the body, teaching the nervous system how to organize against gravity. Posture becomes automatic, wired in so deeply that holding yourself well requires no thought at all. A child raised in a chair learns a different map, one shaped around being held, supported, and seated. By adulthood, that map is running quietly in the background of every moment they stand. We didn't just lose our posture. We were taught a different one from the day we were born. Ancient life was brutal, but their bodies were doing exactly what they evolved to do. The absence of modern deterioration and the presence of healthy joints point to bodies used as designed.
Their straight backs were not a gift of luck, but the physical signature of how they lived every hour. That is the quiet, almost uncomfortable truth at the center of all this. Perfect posture was never just about posture. It was the visible echo of a body in constant conversation with gravity. We lost it because we built a world so comfortable that our bodies stopped being asked to hold themselves up. Look at yourself. Your shoulders, your neck, your spine pressing into the back of a chair. The skeleton waiting inside you is the same one that stood tall on open grasslands 30,000 years ago.
It still remembers how to stack itself against gravity and carries the blueprint for that effortless, upright line.
The difference between you and your ancestor is not the body you were given. It is the world that body lives in. They had no chairs, no advice, no diagrams, and they stood straighter than we ever will.
Maybe the secret to perfect posture was never something we needed to learn.
Maybe it was something we simply needed to stop forgetting. Rediscovering this connection starts with small, conscious movements throughout your day. Try to move more often, shift your weight, and find ways to stand without leaning. Incorporate a squat while you're waiting for coffee or reading a document. Practice balancing small objects to remind your spine of its natural, upright alignment.
Swap your supportive chair for a simple stool occasionally to keep your core muscles active.
Be mindful of how you hold yourself when you are not thinking about it.
Start today and let your spine remember its ancient, healthy strength.